Hi, my name is Rebecca and welcome to my channel. I was so excited when I walked into my Dollar Tree on the 6th of July and caught them stocking fall and Halloween. I was tickled to pink. However, we are in the middle of the dog days of summer. Our county fair is going on and it is hotter than blue blazes. It is not as hot as it could be, but just because it's not as bad as it could be doesn't mean that it's not hot. So we're enjoying our summer and I am still summer crafting. So come craft with me. Dollar Tree sells these 20 mini cups for $1.25, and then they also have this all-purpose caulk that they sell, and it is a very nice caulk. It's very lightweight. I have a baggie full of miscellaneous foam pieces that I kind of pull out and use, and so I just started putting this in the bottom of one of those little mini cups. I wanted to take up as much room as I could in this little cup, and so I just started, took my scissors and cutting the little pieces of foam and placing them down in this cup and kind of patting it in, because I'm going to put the caulk on the top and I did not want to waste a bunch of room, and I did not want to waste my caulk. And then I had clipped the end of this at the most narrow point that I possibly could, and then I just started putting my caulk around in a circular manner around the edge of this cup. I have found that if you clip your caulking tube as close to the end as possible, then you don't necessarily need to transfer it to a piping bag. You can achieve a more decorative pattern, and you can use your caulk like a piping bag without actually having to get out a decorative tip. I continued to fill this up, and then I had my little flurry all filled in, my little ice cream smoothie. And I had a paper straw that I had used for a previous event, and I just cut that straw and I put it in the top. Then I was ready to work on my little red cup. I used the same technique. I just put a little bit of foam in the bottom of the cup and made sure that it was all packed in nice and tight, and I cut it so it would be a little bit more smooth. And then I just filled it all up, and then I was ready to put my little caulking my little caulk in on the top of it, and I just put a little caulk as a little layer, and then this one I was not going to make as tall and more flurry-like. I was just going to make it a little bit more smooth and on the top. I wanted my red cup and my blue cup to just look a little bit different. So this one I did not want to have as much topping as the first one. So I just took my straw, the end of my straw and I just kind of smoothed it out just a little bit so it would look a little bit more kind of like a Dairy Queen concrete look. A little bit flatter and not so whipped topping like. And then once I had that look achieved to it, I kind of added a little bit more caulk here and there, and then I was just ready to make my little concrete. I was ready to fill in my little concrete. You can just take your little paper straw and just fill in however that you want and kind of smooth it and make whatever design. And those little straws come really in handy. But I kind of just played around with it, and I didn't want it quite as tall as the first one. But anyway, I was just kind of playing around at this point. I wanted to do kind of a little ice cream cup, and I didn't want them to be identical. I wanted the red one and the blue one to look just a little bit differently. I did choose the red and the blue cups, but I did notice in my last trip to the Dollar Tree, they had their summer collection out, and they had these little cups in pink, and they had them in yellow and green. They were so beautiful. So if ice cream is your theme for the summer, these cups would be absolutely adorable to make for that kind of theme. And they're a little bit translucent, so you could actually fill them in instead of styrofoam. You could fill them in with like a white paper bag or some tissue paper. Just use your imagination and just get creative with it. But these little cups are just adorable to make these little miniature little miniature ice cream smoothies. Whatever your summer decor, ice cream just seems to go along with it. And it just, when everything's hot outside, ice cream just always makes it better. And we eat a lot of ice cream in our household in the summertime. So I love ice cream in the summer. And every different kind of flavor you can find in our freezer at some point in the summertime. So I picked out the red and blue cups because still going with the red, white, and cool theme, and it just kind of blends in with my summer decor. But they do have the little pink and green and yellow, and just beautiful cups. So for this one, since I did want a little bit different look, I had some little tiny bugle beads that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and they come in all different colors, and I picked out the blue and the red, and so I just decided to decorate the top of my little ice cream cone with this and use it to look like sprinkles. And you have to kind of place them on top of the caulk because they do tend to bounce all over the place, and so you have to kind of place them gently and maybe kind of push them in with your fingernail or use a pair of tweezers. But either way, they do kind of bring a little bit of pizzazz into your little cup of ice cream. For my next project, I'm going to make a scoop of ice cream on top of this beautiful cup that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. And I'm using Dollar Tree spackle, and I have put a little bit of white paint, acrylic paint, just the apple barrel white acrylic paint into this. And then I just stirred it up. The spackle at the Dollar Tree does tend to be a little bit dry at times. It is very lightweight spackle. I do like to work with it, but you do have to, put a good amount of paint into it, and it does tend to be a little bit dry. So I took my ice cream scoop. This ice cream I just use it for crafting, and honestly it's got a little bit of rust on it, so I don't use it for food. So I just scooped it up, and then I just palmed it out of my palm, the palm of my hand. And then once I got the size and got it the way I wanted it, then I just kind of formed it into my hand, and I just kind of evened it out and packed it gently one hand to the other, because I didn't put as much paint in it as I probably should have, but I also didn't want to get too much paint in it either. So I've learned there's a little trick to that. So once I got it the size that I wanted, and the shape that I wanted it formed, I had the spackle left over, and I just took a little wooden skewer, and I just started scooping it off to the side and scooping it around my little scoop of spackle ice cream, and just kind of pressing it gently into the side of that, because I have the little cup that I had bought at the Dollar Tree. It said Party in the USA. It was so cute. And I had put 2 very good sized lumps of air dry clay into the bottom of that, because I did not want to fill it full of spackle. I didn't want to save my spackle for my ice cream look instead of, filling up the cup. So I put 2 scoops of 2 big clumps of air dry clay in the bottom of that. And you can use paper bags, you can use Walmart bags, you can use tissue paper, you can use whatever you want to fill that up. You can even use foam. But I just had the air dry clay, so I thought I might as well use it. And so I wanted this scoop of ice cream to sit up on top of that cup. When you scoop ice cream naturally in a tub, it kind of gets a little messy around the edges, so that's the look I was trying to achieve. And so I just took my skewer and I just pushed the spackling that was there on the plate. I just kind of pushed it up against this scoop of ice cream that I had scooped out. And then I just kind of took my little skewer, and I made indentations and I made lines in my spackling that I was scooping against the side of the scoop, and I just kind of made what I thought looked like a natural ice cream scoop lines into what I was forming there on the sides of my little ice cream scoop. I just kind of formed that into the side of my scoop with the little wooden skewers. You can use a craft stick or a popsicle stick or whatever you have on hand. This is just what I had there in my stash, and this is what I just decided to use. But you can use whatever tool. You can even use an old kitchen knife, but whatever you've got there on hand, it will do the trick. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Crafting shouldn't be difficult. It shouldn't be stressful. You shouldn't have to go out and buy a bunch of fancy tools to do it. You just need to use what you've got on hand, and you just need to have some peace of mind and create something beautiful. I had the end of the straw that I had used on my other little ice cream smoothie project, and so I put that in the top, and then I had ordered these little pieces of watermelon off of Temu, and I was dying to use them. I thought they were adorable. So I just took this little watermelon slice, and I just kind of pushed it gently into the top of my little ice cream scoop. It reminds me so much of summer. I've got it with Cracker Jacks, and it looks like summertime to me, and I am absolutely in love with all my little ice creams that I've made. I don't know if watermelon and ice cream necessarily goes together, but it kind of does in my house. Every summer, we get a hankering for watermelon and we get a hankering for ice cream, and those two things are definitely in our ice box. So my little ice cream is ready to go on my display. So this is how I chose to display it, and this is my little summertime little smoothie, and I thought it turned out really cute, and it's cool and it's breezy. Baseball, Cracker Jacks, ice cream, watermelon, it all looks and sounds and smells exactly like summertime. I have enjoyed these summer crafts so much, and I enjoy summer crafting, and I love all the seasons. Yes, I will be ready for fall crafting, and I will be ready for all the goodness that brings, but I am still so enjoying the sunshine and the warm weather, and even the heat. I just enjoy it, and my summer garden and everything that comes along with that. So I hope that you have enjoyed my summer crafts. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell so that you know when I've uploaded my next video. Give me a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching Crafts, Laughs, and Chaos.